What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video on TPL Locs. Today we are reviewing someone who is very famous for his dreadlocks. His real name is Gazzy Garcia. He is turning 19 years old this year and he's an American rapper and songwriter. I'm talking about Lil Pump. Now, Lil Pump rose to popularity in 2017 after he released his single Gucci Gang. The song peaked at number 3 on the US Billboard, and this year he came out with his second studio album called Harverd Dropout. Let's review his locks. Alright, let's start with this picture. I'm not sure when the first or the second picture was taken, but it's obviously a while ago because he didn't have tattoos and he didn't have locks. On the left we can see a young Lil Pump with a cute little buzz cut, and on the right he is probably in high school, but he still has the same short hair. Now, there weren't very many pictures of him between around 2000 and 2014, so we jump straight into 2014. The quality isn't the best, but this is a picture from his Snapchat, and you can see that his hair texture, it's very much smooth. Now, he does have curls, but for the most part, his hair is very straight and it's not coarse at all. Then we jump to another picture in 2014 where you can see his hair texture even better, and he didn't have locks right around this time. But if we then jump to 2015, we can see here, this is taken from a very poor quality video as well, that he started getting locks. Now, I know what he looks like now, and I gather from that he probably used a combination of things such as rubber bands, braiding his hair and putting rubber bands at the ends as well to help his hair lock up. Because it is a fact that every hair texture can get dreadlocks, but for coarse hair, it is way easier to get locks. 2015, still, you can see that his hair is starting to form a bit more properly, but like I said on the previous picture, you can see that he has those rubber bands at the ends of his locks. So he probably had to keep them together with those rubber bands, because otherwise the hair starts unraveling pretty quickly, especially if you wash your hair or when you step into the shower, your hair can unravel pretty quickly. He probably did part his hair before starting locks, and here you can see more clearly that there are some bumps to be seen in a few of those locks here, which tells me he did use some type of braiding or maybe crochet hook to start his locks, because it's easier and quicker to start your locks by using rubber bands and using a crochet hook if your hair is not coarse at all. If you have straight hair, it is easier to get locks that way with straight hair. And here we can see that he uses different colors rubber bands at the ends of his locks to keep them together. From 2015, we jump straight into 2017 because this is the year that he was really discovered, the year that he had that hit Gucci Gang, and here you can see him on his birthday with a lot of money, with Gucci on, even sporting a Gucci tattoo. Oh my god. And you can see that he dyed his hair. He probably already dyed his hair from the start, because if we go back to this picture really quickly, his natural hair color is not blonde. So he was always dyeing his hair ever since he got locks. Now, dyeing your hair doesn't have to be that bad for your locks, but you shouldn't do it too often, and you should do it professionally. And looking at his pictures, looking over his career so far, he doesn't really care about that. He just dyes his hair whenever he feels like it. So his hair might end up falling out majorly in the future. But what is interesting about this picture is that he has blonde locks, he has pink locks, and they kind of alternate. So you see a few blonde ones, you see a few pink ones, you see a few in between those two. And his hair is starting to grow out. So you see his natural hair color here as well. And although it's sometimes hard to get neat looking locks with straight hair, he managed to pull it off, because I must say these locks don't look too frizzy at all. They look very well kept. So I even think that maybe down the line he started interlocking his locks, maybe, because then you can get the roots of your locks really neat, and it looks like that to me here. 2017, this is what I was talking about. It's really easy to get that frizzy look when you have straight hair and you have dreadlocks. So either you embrace that frizzy look, or you constantly use a crochet hook, interlock it, palm roll your hair, and that is not really a sustainable ritual, because as we've seen before, after a while your hair can start breaking and you can start having hair loss, bald spots, and your dreads can start to fall out. Now he's sporting a different color here as well. He's sporting the blue and pink, so he just keeps dyeing his hair over and over. From 2017, we jump into another picture from 2017 where you can see that his hair is really starting to grow. You can see that he gets more new growth, and it's really apparent because his own hair color is way darker than the dyed locks. And he's getting a few face tattoos. This is right around the end of 2017, and here you can see how long they are getting. So the locks in the back are touching his shoulders, and in the front they're kind of coming to the bottom of his jaw. So remember how long they are now, because a few pictures down the line we're going to see how he changed them. What we also see is that his hairline in the front and on the sides, he shaved some locks off, and he got that lineup look that you see often on rappers with dreadlocks. This is a still taken from the music video Gucci Gang, and like I said before we could see that the locks in the front were kind of around the bottom of his jaw, but here you can see that they are way shorter, so he definitely did cut the ends of his locks off. They also look super neat, so I'm pretty sure that he interlocked his hair for this music video, he re-dyed his hair, and he cut off maybe the curly ends to make it look more neat. In 2018, we can see his lineup a bit more up close. We can also see that when he doesn't interlock his hair, it goes straight back into that frizzy look. He re-dyed his hair again, blonde and pink. And he got a whole collection of tattoos on his neck and his face. Something that strikes me a lot with rappers is that sometimes they get the worst tattoos, even though they make a lot of money. Why won't they go to a good tattoo artist? They have all the money that they need to get good tattoos. Anyways. That same year, 2018, he cut his locks, because here his locks are way shorter than the picture before. So it seems to me that he does that quite often. He cuts little pieces of his locks off from time to time. Maybe that's also because his hair is starting to break, or because the dye is damaging his hair, and this is his way of mitigating that issue. I'm not really sure, but it looks like he does keep cutting his locks. That same year, 2018, he got his hair braided, and you can kind of see right around here how dry his hair is starting to look, and that is the result of using dye over dye over dye. Your hair doesn't get a chance to really recover from using all of those chemicals, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't do anything else to take care of his scalp or hair health. Here we can see that he has some faded blue type color that we saw in the previous picture as well. And again, we can see his parts very clearly, so I think he interlocked his hair again. Now, the reason why I think he doesn't retwist his hair which is what a lot of people with coarse hair do, is because when you have straight hair like this and you retwist, the moment you go to bed and not wear anything in your head or let go of the lock, it'll just twist itself back. So it is way harder for people with straight hair to use that retwisting method unless you keep styling your hair or you're really, really careful with not getting that unraveled. 2018 MTV Awards, he is seen with, I think, his own hair color. I'm not really sure. There are some blonde pieces here and there, but we see that he still uses rubber bands at the ends of his locks. I'm not sure if that would be needed at this stage because he's had locks for about 4 or 3 years, but maybe he's just using the color as a fashion statement. I'm not really sure. Last picture of 2018, he got the 2 buns and some loose locks in the front. Still rocking his own hair color, maybe a bit lighter on the ends, but we see that he regained his length again. His locks are at the bottom of his jaw. 2019, he's wearing a hat, but what's also interesting about this picture is that it seems like he has braided parts of his hair, and I'm not sure if that is because he started combining locks like we saw with Lil Wayne before. After a while, his hair started thinning and he started combining his locks. That could be the case with Lil Pump as well. From all the dyeing and not taking care of your hair health, this could be a solution to hair breakage, combining locks. 2019 still, here it's really apparent that he has interlocked his hair, and if we look at the root for the lock in the middle right here, you can see that they have been combined. So he is indeed combining locks. We can also see that from the rubber bands that he used in this lock. This clearly looks to me like 2 locks combined. And I'm afraid that if he doesn't stop dyeing his locks, which it kind of seems like he's doing this year, that his hair is going to fall out completely and he's going to end up bald like Lil Wayne. Now maybe that's a look he's going for, but I'm not so sure. Picture of 2019. Here we see him with a braid out again. Anyways, I had fun reviewing someone who is not someone who I review normally. So if you want me to review more rappers with crazy hairstyles, let me know in the comments and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.